San Diego, California, the Gold Cup. Could it be described as elusive? In the mind of Bernie Little, that's exactly how it's described.
Down here in the Budweiser camp, they lead at national high points, but a Gold Cup would really top it off, Bernie Little, and you haven't won one in 8 years.
You're right. Today is our day, and we've been running good all week, and I think that today we'll take our 6th Gold Cup home.
You realize that in the 5 Gold Cups you have won in the Budweiser camp, that your very first one came in this town 20 years ago.
Yeah, it sure has, and we've met with our crew, our driver Tom Deeth, and Tom's up for it, and today's the day.
Well, they'll start right out in the first race of the day, along with the HOLSET Miss Mazda. Mike Hansen, the driver. Oh Boy, Oberto, driven by George Woods Jr. The Cooper's Express U3, Mitch Evans, the driver. In the Mr. Pringles, Scott Pierce, the U8. U10, the Winston Eagle, Larry Lauterbach. And rounding out the field, the U1, the Miss Budweiser, Tom Deeth.
Now, Dick, this is our first action of the day, actually a restart of Heat 1A. The original start canceled when a fire broke out aboard the HOLSET Miss Mazda. As they come down to the start, in lane number 2, Miss Budweiser with Tommy Deeth hits the line on the money, chased in the inside by Oh Boy, Oberto.
And watch Oh Boy, Oberto carefully. Hanging right in there on the turn. It's Oh Boy, Oberto. There you can see Oh Boy, Oberto has moved up into the lead just barely on the Miss Budweiser. Miss Budweiser toward the top of your screen on the left-hand side of the course. On the inside, it is Oh Boy, Oberto. There goes Miss Budweiser. What a burst of speed from that boat. But George Woods Jr. is holding in there just about a boat length and a half off of the tail end of the Miss Budweiser in lane number 2.
Dick, as they come down the corner number 3 on the back chute, you can see the smoke off of the Winston Eagle that did not start. Larry Lauterbach, the driver, becomes a close-in, first-hand view spectator.
And that is bad news for the turbine boats out here. The saltwater apparently already claiming one of the turbines. There you can see the multicolored Jif presents Mr. Pringles. And on the inside of him as they hit into the turn is the U3 Cooper's Express. Leader right from the start of the race, although he had a battle with George Woods and the Oh Boy, Oberto, the Miss Budweiser, driven by Tom Deeth of Fairhaven, Michigan.
And Dick, 138.781 on the Zenith computer systems. That's a new 2.5-mile, 1-lap Gold Cup course record. The old record was 137.7, set by the Atlas Van Lines. Chip Hanauer in the cockpit, 1984 at Tri-Cities.
Here's the Oh Boy, Oberto. This boat has been piling it on, trying to get up, but no, he may have tried too hard. He goes off plane. George Woods Jr. is going dead in the water. A great effort by this young man. He was out there in 2nd place on the start and really put up a battle. Now in 2nd place is the multicolored Jif presents Mr. Pringles, Scott Pierce. And one thing we might point out, a lot of the boats look a little bit different. They're racing in salt water. They're experimenting with how to keep the salt out of the engine. You'll notice on this particular boat, as the Miss Budweiser in this particular race, the air scoop is designed to bring the air in behind the turbine engine so they don't get the rush of salt water into the front of it. Cooper's Express riding in 3rd place. This is Mitch Evans. He doesn't have any problem with salt water. As a matter of fact, I'm sure he, along with George Woods and some of the others, are kind of sitting back and hoping that maybe some of these turbines will have some problems out there.
As we look at the Miss Budweiser coming around on the outside, currently in 1st place, here's your 2nd place boat, Mr. Pringles, Scott Pierce in the driver's seat.
And we're coming down to the checkered flag for the Miss Budweiser. Now on the outside, the left-hand side of your screen. These boats are not actually competing in this sense because Budweiser is about to lap the inside boat. The checkered flag is out. Tommy Deeth in the Miss Budweiser. Great way to start the day on Gold Cup Sunday.
And Dickie's going to set another record. This will be for a 15-mile heat on a 2.5-mile Gold Cup course. Average is 134.3, the old record. Another Miss Budweiser, driven by Jim Cropfield in 1984 at 133.5.
Good drive by Tom Deeth. He takes the win. Here are your results in Heat 1A. Mr. Pringles 2nd, Cooper's Express 3rd. There's the rest of the results down the line. Let's go to Jim Hendrick with the winning driver. Jim?
Bernie Little, of course, and the driver, Tom Deeth. Tommy, you look like you're kind of cruising there the last couple of laps.
Well, not really cruising, but the Miss Budweiser was running fantastic. We're just really pleased, and the guys did a great job preparing the boat. Proud of them.
Every time you hear a burble in a compression, you kind of jump, Bernie?
Oh, yeah, I turned my head blue. Yeah, right, I did, Jim. But he's running real well, and we'll be in there for the finish.
And there'll be more action coming up as we continue. Dick Crippen along with Jim Hendrick and Mark Spencer. More from San Diego after this.